All right, so we're live. Share the screen. Welcome to today's energy update. Let's get into it. All right, so if anyone watched my video yesterday, I'll send a link again. Then this today is basically the Energy Reads Raw live, where you just see me do the transmission. I've had a little look at it for seconds, maybe a minute. And the transmission is very clear for myself. So I basically take these readings as all is self, and self is all of these. Every single one of these cards speaks to something to do with myself and my life. And then I broaden it out to like how that energy would play out in a more, let's say, generic sense. So the key is obviously for you to always understand that you're the center of the universe, based on a universe that is involved with infinite space and time, and that you are the hero of your own story, hopefully. And that co-creation is a reality, and so our attention creates our reality. So attention being a moral act. And so without further ado, in terms of just those overall basic lessons, let's get into it. So interestingly, I'll actually just show you how I basically do the readings. I didn't even show this yesterday, but essentially I throw these dices. So these are the dice that I threw. So the dice themselves are really important today. We've got the 3, 6, 9 in perfect order. In terms of the second letters, so the 3, 6, 9 is, for me, every time I see that as a combination, that is the secrets to the universe. Tesla, genius Tesla, says that 369, once you understand 369, you understand the keys to the universe. I understand 369. This is not a video for that. Check out someone called Michael Rodin, just quickly, if you're ready. Well, not quickly, his work is deep. You won't understand if you do it quick. But essentially, if you want to take time to understand 369, Michael Rodin is probably the best place to go. So we bang off with a 3, 6, 9 and the 3, 6, 9s, and obviously we've got the triple, we got the ones coming in again, so it's 1 everywhere. So obviously we could have the 20, we could have the zeros. This system goes up to 24. I have a 24 dice based on a 7, 7. Sorry, based on 24 times 24, which is 5, 7, 6. So again, I did explain this yesterday, so I don't want to repeat myself. That yesterday is the video where I break down how I do this. Today is just a direct channel. So interestingly, as we're seeing 13s, so 8 and 5, 5, 8, 13s. We throw the first one and we get a 13. We've got a 13 again. We've got a 13 through a 49. So 13's been a big theme for the day. We throw this 35 here. We get the 8 here as well. So 8, we've got actually specifically 35 showing twice. That's obviously the only number that shows twice. And then if you want to take the numbers in their singles again, we've got the 19 showing twice as well. We've got the 19 there, we've got the 19 there. So we've got the 19 in both places as well. 19 most dominantly representing the sun in many aspects. In basically the tarot, the 19 represents the sun. So we've thrown the 19 and the sun, again, themes. Yesterday was about light. Today we throw the Prometheum. So Prometheum is light, and one knows that mythology, that is basically the god that stole the light and gave it to the humans, essentially giving us our divine spark. So coming to meet. So be aware of meetings. This energy here is matching up. You got a 3, 3 and the 4, 4. So you got 2 master numbers. So just think about you being in your masterful state as the receiver, as the 33, as the 33, which is about the creativity, It's the peak, basically. It's the peak of the human experience, the number 33, 33 degree Masons. In terms of knowledge, Jesus dying on the faith at the age 33. 33 being a 6, which is basically perfection, the first perfect number, but it's the perfection of the, let's say, lower self. The transcendence of the ego happens at the 33. There's many other ways I can explain it, but just essentially transcendence of the ego happens at the 33, where you are now able to receive the true divine light. This one is clear. So interestingly, so now we've done that, we'll just go back to here. And so we've got bromine, the stench. So we'll take the stench for the stench and say, you know, and so we're going to say, because in the lower chaos, we're going to again, you know, flip these things. Chaos is, it can be many things, has many correspondences. It can also mean bad in a more human sense. Let's just say order out of chaos. But again, you know, I teach that order is chaos is transformation, and perfection is death. And so we've got the bromine. Now, how I'm actually taking bromine is not stench. I'm actually taking that as bro-mine, like my brother's keeper, brother, bro-mine. So I'm looking at the words and I'm just breaking it down phonetically. And I'm looking at this as my brother's keeper. Like I am you, you are me, all is self. So this is my brother. And then coming to me. So essentially the transmission is clear. This is a clear transmission, which is an important meeting could happen today. Look out for people in your life that are coming to shine light, essentially. So people that are coming to shine light in your life. And you need to be receptive to that. These are people that are coming here to help you, essentially. Bro, obviously, is Mel. Bro is Mel. So I read this. I've actually got a really important meeting today. Like, again, you know, I try to make these universal, but just literally, I've got a meeting with someone I've met them face to face a couple of times. But this will be our first time, like, let's say, sitting down, breaking bread after me knowing him for 4 years. And yeah, let's just say he's someone that taps into his zone of genius. Spiritually, he knows his zone of genius, which is beautiful. I'm trying to meet more people like this who have a clear light. Just when we mean zone of genius, you could also see that as being he's tapped into his divine spark. He clearly knows what it is, and I clearly know what mine is. I said there's going to be a collaboration. You know, he reached out to me because he needs some help, or he has an idea, or to be working on something for 2 years. You know, this is a man after my own heart. He's literally been working on something for 2 years. He's told me about it maybe 6-7 months ago. And now is the time. It's just like this light. So he's coming to meet me. Or we are going to meet each other. And it's an assistance. There's going to be a collaboration potentially. We'll see. Again, these things are not set in stone. But these are potential energies. And so, you know, it's playing out in my life perfectly. It's essentially saying that this meeting is going to be really important. It could be potentially pivotal in terms of my life. And I can see that already. Like I know what we're speaking about. You know, we need to keep it private, but essentially this meeting goes well and things manifest how it could do, then yeah, let's just call it a pivotal moment. I don't want to overplay it because, you know, again, just that patience, you know, the past, the splitting apart. The past is speaking of splitting apart. So I'm just thinking about my splitting apartness of when I'm not centered, essentially. When I'm not the king of peace. So the king of swords is about peace. So you could see this as a warrior, but this is also like after the battle, you know, the spiritual battle, the jihad, and his sword having to split apart. So think about the times when you've had to separate in order to bring peace, you know. Just think about those kind of times. The future order. Is again thinking about it's similar to wisdom, so deduction. So we're speaking about the essence. Essentially what this energy, what this combination of energies speak about is the essence of when you reduce things down to its simplicity, you get the essence. And in that essence, you see the newbornness. You see the house when you break things down to its essence. So again, we've got minds that are too complex. I don't say too complex, but we've got minds that are complex, essentially. We've got this desire to add. And you only tap into your essence when you go back into that singularity point, that single point, that oneness. And so reducing things down, like obviously we are going to be tomorrow, just very specifically doing a video on synchronicity. And this will be like my live, you know, my Wednesday live. And essentially it's the art of deduction. This is essentially what we're doing, it's the art of deduction. To birth new synchronicities, birth new ideas and create connections. And then we get onto the big one, which is the centered. So the center would be the, let's say, the true self, the now self. And again, it's the 8, the 1 and the 8 combining to make the 9. So again, you know, this was a big theme of like friendliness, bro, coming to me like 3 in a row of just, you know, meeting. And then meeting what? As I said, meeting the light. What animal flies highest to the light? The eagle. The connection to the great spirit. So I was just speaking about the birthing, the essence. And to see yourself birthing your future. So you're tapping into your true power. So your true power is the connection. This is incredible. Like, sometimes I actually get blown away. Like, I'm just doing the channel at the moment. Obviously, I'm giving you my insights. I'm using my skills of intuition, tapping into my centered self, but also recognizing what I've created, you know, how these connect, how these cards connect. I mean, that is just an incredible connection. Like, I could speak about this for a very, very, very long time. In terms of how you got the 1, the 8, that makes the 9. You've got the 15, obviously 15 and 15, or the 5 and 5. So you've got the 15, 15, which makes the 30. So all of these numbers can be obviously doubled and combined, essentially. Is another way to look at it. Again, there's many ways to look at these things. But 5 and 5 makes 1, essentially. So you've got the 1, 1. So, you know, you've got the I am coming to meet the I am, the all is self coming to meet the all, the self coming to meet the self. Which again, coming to meet, which is in the 44. So yeah, that's the message for today. It's coming through loud and clear. Loud and clear. It's just connection to the Great Spirit, really. It's encompassed in these 2 energies, I would say. These 2 energies explain it the best. 8 being time, 8 being power, the connection of the as above and so below. That's what 8 basically represents. The Vesica Pisces. So yeah, with that pause for thought, peace. Hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, I'll be doing my what's it called? My SOULGNO daily affirmation for today based on this. Oh, that was it. There you go. So yeah, this is the calendar for today. So we got the 14th playing out again. Obviously, again, we had the 14 here. So similar to yesterday as well. Can't fully remember yesterday, but I remember 13 is playing out when it was 13. And today, let's just move this over here. So, yeah. So that whole Promethean coming to meet on the 14th. As you can see, we see it here on the 14th. So the 14th Gregorian calendar day. That's important. On the 14th week of the moon as well. Sorry, 14th day of the moon. On the 14th day of the moon. Obviously, I'm pausing for thought because I'm channeling right now. So we're on so the key is that we're on the 9th tone. So what's resonating to me the most is the 9th tone, which is about humanity and harmony. And obviously we've had the 8 and 1 as well with the centered card. And that 9 also represents the sun. So I've said 19 represents the sun, but then in Mayan astrology, the 9 represents the sun, the solar, the pulse. And this birthing, this wholeness is obviously also in the redness of the sun. The new knowledge would be like the red frequency of the sun. And we're essentially going to be combining the creativity through play. The mental creativity is going to be fun. Like, not take it seriously as mental creativity. Make sure that we're in the fun stage. But then also recognizing that there's a method behind it. There is a method to the quote unquote madness through the Mars. And so this specific day is calling to basically have a method to your madness. But tap into your madness, i.e. mental creativity. Tap into it. But then have the pulse, have the focus, the will to be able to focus that and channel that energy, essentially, from a place of authority. The author. Author is light. AU, author, authority. So when we're saying you are the hero of your own story, it's essentially where you proactively recognize that you are the author. This taps into your sovereignty. This taps into gold. AU is gold. AU is the symbol, imperial table, for gold. For gold. So the emperor taps into their authority using the symbol of the sun to create in his playground. He can only do that. For the divine authority there, we've got authority there. So this is a very authority comes from your confidence when you tap into your zone of genius. You understand your values. You understand, richness. Richness. That richness is values. Divine authority in wealth and values. And so I would say that the center self card obviously is always going to be the inner truth. Is always going to be the inner truth. The inner truth will create the opportunities, which is obviously linked to creativity. Today's meeting is that today's meeting that I have is essentially an opportunist moment. I'm not hanging my hat, hanging my life on it. I'm not betting my mortgage on it, but it's worth the meeting. It's an opportunity essentially to collaborate on something special. And I'm not underplaying that when I say special. This basically is one of those potential moments in life that's pivotal. Like the moments that I remember, I'm like, raw. I remember that meeting. This is going to be one of those days, I have a feeling. So, yeah, without further ado, that is a channeled message from self to self. So, yeah, these messages are just recorded journals at this point. So, anyone that has been listening knows that journaling is massive for me, and it's something that I'm going to be stepping into even deeper. Essentially, I'm literally doing it right now with these recordings. So, you know, these videos will be kept private until I get enough subscribers, and then I'll probably go live with them at a specific time, potentially daily. This is a potential thing that could happen. Go live at 6:30, do a 20-minute video, you know, something like that. And those who want to watch can watch. You know, we'll see. So anyway, peace and blessings, and have a wonderful day. Peace.